What is up, people? This is the Oracle. We are back online, and today I'm going to be recording deck building and first 3 rounds of my MOCS monthly limited event. So for those of you who don't know what it is, you can join them by gaining points that you get when you win a draft or a league. And there's, I think, 1 or 2 every month in constricted or limited. And here it's just going to be sealed. It's going to be 8 rounds of sealed. If you get record of 6-2 or better, you get qualified for a playoff event, which there's only one every 3 months, I believe, if I'm not saying. So there's only 4 every year. And if you I think top 2, or yeah, probably top 4. I don't know. Well, if you get good results at the playoff event, you get qualified for the Magic Online Championship. Either way, this is just going to be me doing Rivals of Excellence sealed, and there's going to be 3 rounds. I'm not going to record all the rounds, but yeah, feel free to ask me for my final results in the comment section if you want to know. Alright, what do we have? A bunch of very bad cards. Sword Point Diplomacy is very bad, Paladin's very bad, Brass Bounty is very bad. 2 decent Pirates, nothing insane, but they are decent, pretty good. And Captain's Hook is pretty good. Turns creatures into pirates. It's not necessarily a pirate card, though. It's just pretty good equipment all around. So, alright. There is that. There is very few white cards. I don't think we can play white. Yeah. And there's 2 gold white cards, but they are not great. I don't think white is gonna happen. There's a small chance we splash for white if we have good fixing, though, because both Spell's Interdiction and Luminous Bones are pretty good reroll. Maybe even Bright Reprisal, who knows? But definitely not gonna main white. We have a lot of red. Could end up being our main color. In blue, Herald, Sea Legs, nothing. Well, this card is fine if you're playing Merfolk, not so good otherwise. Couple 2-drops. The Darters are playable, not very exciting. Spirewinder. Yeah, nothing very exciting in blue. I guess 2 nice 2-drops in Aerialist and Marauder. And I guess a Waterknot. Everything else is not very good. White's not looking very exciting. Black with Skullduggery. Paladin I don't think is... I would not even play it. I think it's really bad. Sky Marcher is good. Voracious Vampire is good, but we don't really have any Vampire, and if we want to go a Vampire, we would go white-black, but we don't have enough white cards. This might be a very bad seal pool. Red was pretty deep, but I see 3 Shatter here, so I'm getting kind of worried right now. 2 Canal Modinor, pretty bad. Black is just unplayable. I think there's not enough things, and there's not even enough reroll. There's not any reroll, and reroll is one of the main reasons why black is actually pretty good in sealed, and we don't have any. Yeah, this could be a very bad sealed. 2 Mutiny is nice though in red. Reckless Rage. I guess red's looking kind of decent, but we only have 2 2-drops, which is kind of frightening. Sea Red, I guess we could play aggro maybe. I feel like whatever we end up doing, we're gonna be very short on 2-drops, which is a huge problem. But oh well. Double Bombard, okay, that's pretty good. Swashbuckler. Red is good. Red is gonna be our main color no matter what. It's deep, and it's got a lot of playable cards. Like there's like 19 playables, which is a lot. We could, yeah, red is so deep we could even go maybe red-white, who knows. Just gonna take a look at green, but green doesn't seem amazing. Forerunner of Herald is just not gonna happen. We don't have enough Merfolk, so we're not gonna do that. Same with Jadebearer. Commune is nice, especially if we play Raging Regisaur and then 3 Dreadmouths. A little bit too much. I don't think like green is playable either. I think we just got a very bad pool here. Maybe red-blue can look pretty good, but yeah, this is not a pool I'm excited about. I think we'll have to go red-blue aggro, and yeah, hope we get some really nice draws. At least we have a loft label, so we'll get to cut the worst card, and actually a red-blue aggro deck is probably going to be decent. But this is kind of a very, how do you say, polarized pool, I guess. I feel like the green, black, and white are just close to unplayable, given the lack of playable or good things. That's pretty weird pool, actually. I don't mind sea legs if we were playing pirates, by the way. I think the red-blue deck we can build is gonna be pretty good, actually. Not a big fan of Mistcloak Herald, but with Sea Red it does kill people very quick. So there is that. Could cut the darters. The problem I can see right now is we have, you know, 31 cards, so that's a little bit too much. So we'll have to cut stuff, obviously. The problem is we have 17 creatures, so we can only afford to cut something like 2 creatures from this deck, not more. So yeah, I guess this might be a bit clunky. So okay, at least there's really solid removal in reds, and I guess blue has Water Knot too, which is nice. So our removal is good. We have some nice, very strong 2-drops. Not a lot of them, but the one we have are pretty good. I don't think this deck wants to play Shake in the main. It kills a lot of our own creatures, so this is an easy cut. I think this Pursuit's actually pretty good. We have a lot of pirates too, so it's a nice one. Bravado is fine. Probably don't want to play both Bravado and Sure Strike, so I'll cut the slightly weaker one. I'm not sure about Sea Red. I'm not a huge fan in general, but I could see that being fine. Hook is kind of a 4-drop, ideal. I mean, you can play it on turn 3 if you have nothing better, but usually when I'm looking at my curve and looking at equipments, I'm trying to put them on the spot where you can play them and equip right away. It's kind of where you're going to be happy to play them. Yeah, we're just gonna be red-blue aggro. I think the deck is gonna be fine, actually. Not very exciting, but fine. This doesn't really look like a Sailor of Memes deck. I think it's better than River Darter, though. It's just fine. It's pretty good with Hook. High toughness creature are good with Hook. Yeah, I could see getting the Sailor. I think it's fine. The 4-drops are fine. I don't mind keeping the larger creatures. I think we'll play 17 lands either way. We can cut Apprentice is the weakest 2-drop, not very exciting. And then I feel like we can't really afford to cut creatures. Could see cutting the Sea Red. I'm just not a big fan of that card. And I think our deck actually has enough removal where we can play longer games without too much trouble. I don't think we need to be super aggressive. This is actually a fine deck. It's not, there's no bomb rares. There's nothing too flashy or insane, but it's just decent curve and decent removal, and I think that's kind of nice. I feel like I want to cut the 1-drops maybe. I'm really not a big fan of these, especially since our deck ends up not being this aggressive. It's more of a mid-range deck. Being down to certain creatures is a little bit light, but it's not like the 1-drops are gonna help a lot with that. Maybe we play, actually, we might want to play the, yeah, I think we'll play the, a little bit more 3-drops. This is 24. That deck is fine, actually. It's surprisingly, I don't know, I was actually really worried about the pool, I'm not gonna lie, but it's because 3 of the 5 colors were kind of shitty, but this red-blue deck is completely fine. I think we really want the 14 creatures. I feel like we can't really afford to play 16 lands. I guess we have Sailor of Memes, 2 Mutiny. We can function without too much mana early. It's not a big deal. So maybe playing 16 is fine, especially since one of them is going to be Highland Lakes, which helps a little bit with the the mana in general. So maybe just decent 16 land is fine. You could just build the deck with 2 Sea Reds, Herald, and Firebrand, but I don't feel like it's worth it. Like, people are gonna play all the removal they have in their pool, and I don't think you'll really get there. I'd rather have a slightly higher curve, play some 5 and 6 drop, and not get 2 for 1. Oh, actually, we have Freebooter too. Yeah, I think between Sylvarf Memes, Freebooter, and Highland Lake, this makes up for playing 16 land despite having a somewhat high curve with 3/5 drop and a 6 drop. I'm gonna take a look at the rest of the card, but I don't think we're gonna do anything else. Usually I take more, I take close to the full amount of time to build my pools, but I don't think this one is very difficult. I think the only question, I mean, I really don't feel like you can play something that's not blue-red. So it just comes down to, do you want to go super aggro, try to steal games and play the 1-drop, Sea Red, and probably more 2-drop and just go full aggro? Or do you want to have a more stable game plan where you don't necessarily get 2 for 1 and you have slightly better late game? I think I'd rather have that, especially this deck has enough removal where it can actually afford to play for a relatively long game. When if I end up with a deck that's light on removal, I'm just gonna try to close the game as fast as possible in sealed, because you don't want to die to opponents' bomb rares and cards you cannot beat, large stuff. If you have a lot of removal like we do here, it's actually fine to not be as aggressive. I think it's less of a problem, so I think we'll just do that. And if we see a deck that seems really powerful, like we face a deck, so maybe we'll face a deck during the matches, and we're gonna be like, well, we just cannot beat this deck late game. We just cannot beat it. It's stronger than our. Maybe they have a Tetzimoc, Profane Procession, who knows? And then we can go, well, if we really can't beat their late game, maybe we just go for the super aggro plan and hope it works out. Or if we see a deck that's really light on removal, maybe bringing in Sea Red makes sense. But I think for the main, I really like this configuration of having slightly higher curve and creatures that in general are a little bit, better on their own. It's also kind of nice that we have Sailor plus Freebooter alongside 2 Spirewinder. These things are pretty good at helping you with Seedless Blessing. Again, the deck is not spectacular, but it's just good removal and good curve, so cannot be that wrong. I would not be surprised to get there and have my 6, or I guess what it is, 18 points. It's not 3 points online, but my 6 victories with this deck. I think it's completely reasonable. It's not insane. It's not your, Tetzimoc Chupacabra deck. It's probably a little bit weaker than the deck I had in London, which was a really solid green-black deck with very strong late-game bomb rares. But it has a lot of removal and a good curve again, so really don't mind being there. Alright, so we have a little bit more red, but we have a double blue. But there will be turns where we will want to be able to play a red spell alongside a mutiny. So I think we still want a little bit more reds. So I think it's just gonna be, yeah, not 9/6, but 8/7, which with the Highland Lake translate into just a 9/8 mana base, which is really nice. I mean, it's a limited mana base. It's not as good as Constructed or as good as you would want it to be, but it's good enough. So last thing, I'm gonna take a screenshot. And that's gonna be the deck. Again, usually I take a little bit more time to build my decks. I try different color combination, but I think this pool is just very, very simple in that regard. I don't think, again, you can go for the more aggressive build maybe, but I think it would be wrong not to play blue-red. Yeah, there's a lot of removal. I don't even think Mark of the Vampire is good, really, in sealed with rivals. So black has like 2 Voracious Vampire, but not a lot of vampires. A Sky Marcher which is good, but there's like maybe 5 cards you want to play. Same thing in white. And green is not very deep and kind of has a big curve problem. There's 3 6-drops, which are the some of the best card in green, and then a couple 3s and absolutely no 2-drop. So I don't think green is playable either. Yeah, I really don't see anyone building this pool and not playing blue-red. I think it would be a mistake. Unless I'm missing something. And again, you could go for the aggro build, but I think we were slightly better with that one. So anyway, enough talking. Hope you enjoyed that deck building part, and see you guys for round 1.